Sometimes activities of my loved ones impact me so hard that I cannot even think properly. I lose my consciousness. Same incident happened to me recently. And to overcome this feeling of despair, I started to chant. But my mind was not allowing me to even practice Krishna consciousness. And I think because of this incident, I'm going away from Krishna. I wanted to get on the Krishna path and tackle these situations. So what we have to understand is, first of all, you see, Arjuna, in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, in the middle of the battlefield, he asked Krishna to bring the chariot in the middle of the two armies. Ratham sthapayame Achyuta. He asked Achyuta, Krishna, please take the chariot in between the two armies, because I want to see who all are there on both sides of the armies, so that I can assess the strengths and weaknesses of both the parties, and we can strategize how to fight in the battle. And then when Arjuna went there and stood there and looked at both the sides, he saw both the sides are all my relatives. My own grandfather, my own teacher, my own uncles, my own children, cousins, my nephews, all my own relatives. They are not other people. And then Arjuna realized, oh my God, what is going to happen? All my relatives, they are going to fight and kill each other. So he became totally overcome with compassion. His heart became overcome with grief, overwhelmed with grief. And then he told Krishna, Katam hi swajanam hatva. O Krishna, swajana, all my own relatives, if I kill in the battlefield, then what is the use of my living after the battle? Yesham arte kangshitam no. For whom we are desiring to get the kingdom, if they themselves are killed, then what is the point of this battle? So I don't want to fight. The point was, Arjuna became overwhelmed with grief when he saw that his swajana, all my people, are arrayed in this battlefield. They are my people. I love all of them. Bhishma, my grandfather. Dronacharya, my teacher. How can I fight against all of them? And so Arjuna became overwhelmed with grief and he said, I cannot fight. Now, Prabhupada analyzes how Arjuna was in the bodily concept of life, and therefore he became overcome with this feelings of grief. Being in the bodily concept of life, he thought, these people are my swajana, are my relatives. Why? Because they are related to my body. On the spiritual platform, when you look at it, this is my grandfather, this is my uncle, this is my wife, this is my brother, this is my husband. All these relations exist as long as this body exists. When we die, when this body becomes finished, what happens to all those relationships? Gone, finished. So none of these relationships are permanent or eternal. All of them are temporary. Therefore, to become bewildered or overwhelmed on the basis of bodily relation is not intelligent. And that is why the first instruction Krishna gave to Arjuna, what was that? Ashocyan anvashochansya prajnavadansya bhashase gatasun agatasunsa nanusochanti panditaha. Krishna told Arjuna, you are speaking very, very big words. Like a big scholar you are talking. But whatever you are talking is actually foolish. Because Panditaha, a really scholarly or learned person, he will not lament either for the living person or for the dead person. Why? Because he knows body may die, but the person will never die. He is eternal. Atma is eternal. And so therefore, Krishna advises Arjuna, learn to see things from the spiritual perspective, not from the bodily perspective. And if we see things from the spiritual perspective, what happens? We will not be overwhelmed by the grief. So this question that I am getting bewildered when some instance happens between me and my loved ones. They are not really my loved ones. My really loved ones are my spiritual master and Krishna. If they get upset with me, then I have cause for distress. Bodily relation, they are upset with me. How does it matter? This will keep happening. People will get upset, people will praise, people will criticize. This will constantly go on. Virat Kohli will hit 1 century, people will praise him. Next match, he will get out for 0, people will start criticizing him. Hey, he doesn't know how to bat. Same people only. This is the nature of the material world. Praise and criticism will keep alternating. So we should not get bewildered by these things. We should not get bewildered thinking, oh, they are my people, they are criticizing me. They are my people only in this, as long as this body is there. After this body is gone, where are my people? There are nobody, there are no my people. So we have to, when we look at these things from a spiritual perspective, we will not get bewildered. So the answer is, if we have to remain steady in these kind of situations, we have to cultivate spiritual knowledge. We have to read Bhagavad Gita again and again. We have to associate with devotees. We have to increase the spiritual content of our life. Then what will happen is, some relative become upset, they criticize us also, it will not affect us. Understand? So the only solution is to develop ourselves spiritually and to develop spiritual knowledge. That is the only way we can become free from the disturbance arising out of the disturbances given to us on account of our relatives. Just like Arjuna also. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was so much overwhelmed by grief, he was crying. He was not even able to hold the bow, his whole hand was shaking. And after hearing the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, what happened? The same Arjuna stood up, took the bow and said, yes, I will kill all of them. I will do my duty. Even though I do not want to do it, I don't like to do it. It's not that I want to kill my grandfather, but as a matter of duty, because dharma requires it, I will do it. So you see, so if spiritual knowledge becomes entrenched in our heart, then what will happen is, we will not be agitated by whatever interactions happen between us and our so-called loved near and dear ones. Of course, it is easier said than done. But then, as we go on practicing spiritual life, our strength to face these kind of situations will increase with time. So, practice makes man perfect. We have to keep practicing. We have to keep engaging in devotional service. As our heart gets more and more purified, our ability to withstand these things will also increase. Our equanimity will increase.